The National Electrical Code, also known as NEC, requires electrical conduit runs in underground garages to be installed in heavy wall conduit. This requirement can be found in Article 501.8b2 of the NEC. This section addresses wiring methods for Class I Division 1 and 2 locations, which can include underground garages depending on their specific characteristics and ventilation. Article 501.8b covers all raceways and ceiling requirements. Subparagraph 2 specifically states that all conduit shall be threaded metal conduit. It is permissible to run feeders for other equipment in the same conduit run as emergency lighting circuits according to the NEC. This is addressed in Article 700.12b, which pertains to the wiring of emergency systems. However, a crucial exception exists. The NEC requires that emergency lighting circuits be installed in a separate raceway if the associated conductors for the feeders are sized larger than the emergency lighting circuit conductors. This is to ensure the integrity and reliability of the emergency lighting system, preventing a fault in the larger feeder circuit from affecting the emergency lighting. Article 700.12 outlines the acceptable wiring methods for emergency circuits. Paragraph B details the specific requirements for independent wiring. It discusses that wiring shall be designed and located to minimize the hazards that might cause failure due to fire, accident, or other causes. This includes physical protection and separation from other circuits to maintain the emergency system's functionality during adverse conditions. The Chicago Code is known to be more stringent than the NEC in certain areas, particularly concerning underground garage conduit runs. While the NEC may allow the use of Schedule 40 polyvinyl chloride, also known as PVC, conduit in some underground garage applications, the Chicago Code mandates the use of heavy wall conduit. This difference highlights the importance of always verifying local code requirements in addition to adhering to the NEC. The NEC generally requires that emergency lighting circuits be kept separate from normal lighting circuits to maintain their operational independence during a power outage. However, it does allow feeders for other equipment to be run in the same raceway as emergency lighting circuits under certain conditions, provided the emergency circuit conductors are not smaller than the other feeder conductors in that raceway. In any electrical installation, especially one involving emergency systems, it is important to consult with the local authority having jurisdiction, also known as AHJ, to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. The AHJ has the final say in interpreting and enforcing the electrical code within their jurisdiction. When installing electrical conduit in underground garages, the NEC mandates the use of heavy wall conduit. This requirement is typically found in Article 501.8b2, which deals with wiring methods for hazardous locations. Underground garages may be classified as hazardous locations due to the potential accumulation of flammable vapors. The specific type of heavy wall conduit required, such as rigid metal conduit, also known as RMC, or intermediate metal conduit, also known as IMC, will depend on local codes and the specific environment of the garage. Regarding emergency lighting circuits and feeder runs, the NEC permits running feeders for other equipment in the same conduit as emergency lighting circuits according to Article 700.12b. However, it's crucial to adhere to the stipulation that emergency lighting circuits must be in a separate raceway if the feeder conductors are larger. This ensures that a fault in a larger feeder circuit does not compromise the emergency lighting system's operation. Furthermore, consider that the Chicago Code often imposes more stringent requirements than the NEC, particularly concerning conduit runs in underground garages. For instance, while the NEC might allow Schedule 40 PVC conduit in certain underground garage scenarios, the Chicago Code typically mandates heavy wall conduit. Always consult local electrical codes and the AHJ to ensure full compliance. To summarize the key points, firstly, the NEC requires heavy wall conduit in underground garages as per Article 501.8b2. Secondly, running feeders for other equipment in the same conduit as emergency lighting circuits is generally permitted under Article 700.12b unless the feeder conductors are larger than the emergency circuit conductors. Thirdly, the Chicago Code might have stricter requirements than the NEC, such as mandating heavy wall conduit even when the NEC allows Schedule 40 PVC. And fourthly, consulting with the local AHA is crucial to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. It is also a good idea to review Article 511, which covers commercial garages, repair and storage areas, for other code requirements. The requirements for emergency systems are located in NEC Article 700. Always refer to the latest edition of the NEC and local amendments to ensure your work meets all applicable standards.